are your all-century NBA team what is your all-NBA century team to this point?
Now,
2 guards, 2 forwards,
right,
and a center.
Now, you and I differ on this, right? We've talked about this when getting into awards. I think everything should be positionless because I just think I want to reward ultimate greatness, and I would love to see just the best 5 players.
Whatever.
And I think it's funny though because we've
Basketball
got some players.
ain't no sport positionless. You ain't got 2 quarterbacks on the field at the same time.
Sometimes you do.
Okay, go ahead, Jared. Come on.
Plenty of times you do with some of the
plenty
stuff
of times, Jared. Now that's where you're wrong.
Sometimes. All right, so you just want me to start. What position you want to? I think the toughest position here to me is the center position. Because I think, to me, like I want to have Shaq on this team, even though best Shaq is late 90s, early 2000s, and then obviously we have really old and out of shape Shaq. But I still think like Shaq's numbers are the least reflective of impact, maybe anyone outside of Bill Russell in the history of the NBA, right? Because like Bill Russell's offensive numbers were absolutely minuscule in terms of what his overall impact on winning. And obviously we know what his defensive impact was, but I want to have Shaq on there, but I'm not going to have Shaq on there. I think the toughest position is center, and I'm going to put a guy who actually played center but never was listed at center as my center. I'm going to put Tim Duncan as my center.
Oh, that is okay. Because Jared, once again, folks, Jared is trying to obscure the rules and go positionless. I got you. Tim Duncan's the greatest power forward of all time, who also happened to play center. You're not going to put Nikola Jokic as your all-century center.
I mean, I would like to, yeah. I mean, that's a good one too. I just think like the sample size, right? Like if you were to reverse the century, right? Like reverse the order of the years, and we were to do this with Tim Duncan playing right now, on your all-time list, do you have Jokic above Tim Duncan on your all-time list as of today?
No, Tim Duncan's a top 10 player of all time.
And and that's exactly where I'm coming from on this as well. I think ultimately Jokic probably cracks the top 10 and supersedes and leapfrogs Tim Duncan in that spot, probably, but not yet.
Okay, look, I won't say a flawed logic, but you're going with the positionless logic. So go ahead and give me your other 4 players before I tell you what the real. Go ahead.
You want the rest of my roster?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me the rest of the roster.
Okay, at power forward, I've got Kevin Durant.
Okay.
You act like you're surprised. At small forward, I've got LeBron James.
A no-brainer.
Yep. At shooting guard, Kobe Bryant.
Another no-brainer.
And Stephen Curry is the point guard.
That was almost a perfect list, Jared, because I have Steph, I have LeBron, I have Kobe, I have Tim Duncan, but as my 4, I don't have Kevin Durant, which Kevin Durant can wind up being the greatest scorer ever in terms of aesthetic and skill set and everything else. But for purposes of this, I would have Shaquille O'Neal, even though, like you said, his numbers, like I had to actually look this up.
Yeah.
Post 2000, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 assists or 2.5 assists, and 4 championships. And so much of that is skewed because of what happened on the back end, like post 2006. Right. Like the best of Shaq ended around 2002, so to speak. The best of Shaq was like actually like 2000, 2001. It was a very almost short-ish window. Yeah, but even on the back end of the three-peat, it was Kobe 1A, Shaq 1, depending on the matchups, depending on if Shaq was motivated and in shape and everything else. But yeah, I'm with you. Tim Duncan, greatest power power forward of all time. No worries, the discussion there. Shaq being a big part of 4 championships, including the last three-peat that we've seen, that takes it over the top if we were to argue a Shaq versus Kevin Durant thing. Here, Jared, is where we will have some fun, because we will take my team, because my team is the smart team, right? You know what my team is. Steph, LeBron, Kobe, Duncan, Shaq. Let's do the best of this century versus the best of the last 25 years prior to that. So that's pretty much post-merger going into 2000. Now, let me see if you agree with my team. Are you ready for this, Jared Greenberg?
Yep.
All right. Kareem at the 5. Dr. J at 1 forward. Larry Bird at 1 forward. The GOAT at 1 guard. And Magic at the other guard. Do you agree with that? From 1975 to 2000. So that excuse that forgets Russell and Wilt.
Right. Can we?
So are you good with that, or do you want to put someone else there?
No, to me, there's got to be either Karl Malone or Charles Barkley in for Dr. J.
I think you severely underrate Dr. J. I think we turned Dr. J into Dominique Wilkins. Like, I think that's how we talk about Dr. J in that way because of what he did in the ABA and everything else. But Dr. J was carrying a franchise in Philadelphia. And I don't think Karl Malone, who was, I hate to say this to y'all, one of the most fraudulent MVPs we've ever had. Both of them were fraudulent MVPs. Without those MVPs, we don't think of Karl Malone in that way. And I would take Charles Barkley or Kevin Garnett over Karl Malone any day, to be perfectly honest. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take my team, because once again, I'm smart and you're not. Let's take Kareem, Dr. J, Bird, Magic, Michael against the 5 of Steph, LeBron, Kobe, Duncan, and Shaq. Who wins that, Jared Greenberg?
Best player on the court's going to be Michael, right?
Yes.
So that's 1 for them.
Yes.
For the young guy, for the old guys.
For the old guys.
Magic versus Steph. I'm taking Steph.
You're insane. But go ahead. You're insane. You are totally insane.
LeBron, Bird. I'm taking LeBron.
That's an argument.
Tim Duncan against Dr. J. You kidding? Tim Duncan.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that.
And Shaq Kareem, I think, is one of the great debates I've had in my head for a long time when I get bored and have nothing to do, because like Kareem's numbers knock him out of the park. And I don't know defensively. I mean, Shaq's feet work were so good, but could they keep up with Kareem? Probably not. But at the other end, like Kareem didn't have the frame to keep up with Shaq's physicality.
No, he didn't. It would have looked like, and this is by no means to denigrate Kareem Abdul-Jabbar defensively, but remember what Shaquille O'Neal did to Dikembe Mutombo in 2001?
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
God bless his soul, was the defensive player of the year, and every Shaq highlight was Shaq putting his elbow into Mutombo's midsection and him, like, literally, it was like he was stopping himself from throwing up, because like whatever his lunch was.
And Mutombo's a guy that had a big frame, like.
I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. I think we severely underrate what Kareem would do to Shaq on the other end of the floor.
No question. No question.
Because Shaq really wasn't about defending unless he had to.
Right.
And Kareem would give him a long and hard day. I think Larry Bird would give LeBron James a long and hard day on both ends of the floor. Okay, see, this is you don't get it. You don't get the mastery of the Bird, man. Larry Bird is legit everything LeBron James is except for an exceptional runner and jumper.
Okay.
He's comparable of a shooter, combo of as a passer, a team defender, a smart player. Like, I'm surprised, Jared. You got to stick up. You got to stick up for you guys.
I'm not predictable like that, Vinny. I think the athleticism wins out. I think the strength, the pure dominance, I think LeBron wear him out.
And if that's the case, why isn't Steph just not being backed down into oblivion and baby hooked to death
Magic would have to chase Steph around the court, and that would absolutely gas him. Magic never once had to guard someone like Steph Curry. Never.
Nobody's ever had to guard anyone like Steph.
Correct.
Like Steph is one of one. It'd be a point where they'd be like, "Hey, Michael, you got to guard Steph."
Correct. Which now means either Magic or Bird is guarding Kobe.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a hard day. But nobody's guarding Michael.
Correct.
And nobody's guarding Irvin.
LeBron could.
So LeBron's guarding who?
Magic.
Nah. Magic's like physically like girthier, like just the best way to put it. But yeah, I think it's a fun exercise because when we think of the top
who you got? What
five,
squad you got?
I might, and here's the thing, we're taking the best, not the aggregate of it. We're not taking totality of career. We're taking the best of Kareem, the best of Bird, best of blah, 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 all those guys. I think the swing matchup could be Tim Duncan and Dr. J, but not because Dr. J.
Which, by the way, I think the majority of the people listening to this, and God bless every single one of you out there on this great August afternoon for listening to this, but I guarantee you, most of them, I don't care how old you are, agrees with me. And no offense, I love Dr. J. He's not on this list. He should not be on this list. But if he is, he's getting his butt kicked by Tim Duncan, a top 10 player. Dr. J is not a top 10 player.
You are severely underrating Dr. J. Go look up some of those numbers. And go, Jared, just do me this favor while we are talking, and I will filibuster this while you go look this up. I want you to look at
his numbers are great.
Dr. J's numbers.
I get it.
I think you think of him as being Dominique Wilkins, as that's no disrespect to Dominique Wilkins. I think you think of him as just a runner, jumper, elite athlete. Like not to get super nerdy, the win shares per 48 for Dr. J back then were abnormally high because he did a job of carrying a franchise. He just ran up against Magic and Kareem until he got Moses. And when he got Moses, they swept the Lakers' asses up out of there. All he needed was another guy. He never had another guy. And once he got the guy, Dr. J wound up winning the championship. 4-4-4, or rather,
he's
5-4.
Listen, by me saying he's not a top 10 player, is he a top 15 player? Probably. He's a top 15 player of all time. Okay, fine. Tim Duncan is a top 10 player, greatest player to ever play his position.
Malone. But you'd rather have Karl Malone on that list.
Malone or Barkley? Yeah.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Anyway,